Back to our final round of 8th grade projects. Welcome to the live audience, and again to all of you on Zoom, all your classes and people that are zooming in from different places. That is because of one person called Kristen, and I will keep thanking her again and again. So this morning we had two presenters. Kian, who did animation, and Aiden with escaping from designing an escape room. He did not escape. Maybe he did escape from an escape room. So this afternoon we have Kiana with documentary filmmaking, Ella with surfing and making her own surfboard, and Alistair with music production. So we're going to get started here with Kiana and documentary filmmaking.
Hi, my name is Kiana. Have you ever wondered what it's like to make your own short film? For my 8th grade project, I made a short documentary film. At first, I was a little hesitant to start this project, but once Ms. Tisdale introduced me to Katie Teague, a local filmmaker and director, I got excited. I contacted Katie and she gladly agreed to be my mentor for this project. Katie and I met every Monday for about a half an hour since November, sometimes in person and sometimes on Zoom. In total, I've spent over 40 hours working on my project. My short film is a documentary. A documentary is a real story about a person, place, or thing. When Katie and I first met, she asked me what I wanted my film to be about. My parents and I began to brainstorm. Then, one of my classmates suggested I make my film about Aisha Wand, my dance teacher. I loved the idea and got excited. Aisha has had many struggles in her life and has really accomplished a lot too. I wanted to tell her story. When Katie and I met for the second time, we began to make a plan for my film. Katie told me about storyboards. A storyboard is a kind of map showing how the film is going to go. It is made up of sketches and notes. Mine is like a timeline, each section leading to the next. Here's my storyboard. It starts at the door and leads us into Aisha's life. In the middle, it highlights the challenges Aisha's had and ends with about. There it is. Okay. To begin creating my film, I need video footage. Since I wasn't able to film Aisha's life unfolding, I need to film her telling her life in an interview. For the interview, I needed a camera, I used my phone, a microphone so you could hear Aisha, and lighting so you could see Aisha's face clearly. Next, I wrote a series of questions to ask Aisha for the interview. Finally, it was time to go to DanceWorks, the studio Aisha teaches. I asked her the questions I had written and filmed her as she answered. The whole interview lasted about an hour. Of course, I didn't want my audience to just see Aisha talking the whole time. I needed other videos and still photos from the audience to see what Aisha told her story. Once I had all the images together for my film, it was time to edit. Editing is when the filmmaker pieces together the images for the film. It takes a lot of time and requires moving a lot of footage. I kept only the most essential material. I used editing at Premiere Rush and spent over 10 hours taking out 25% of the film that I started with and piecing the rest together in the exact order of my storyboard. When my film was done, I felt so accomplished, and now I'm ready to show it to all of you today. I hope you enjoy Dancing from the Flames, a biography of Aisha Wand. It'll be shown on that projector right there. Hope you enjoy.
My name is Aisha Wand. I'm a dance teacher and studio owner here in Ashland, Oregon. And well, I have a lot of different passions, but dance has been my main focus my whole life as a professional dancer. And then later on in life, came to open up my own studio. And I've taught kids for about the last 30 years of my life. I've danced professionally in New York and LA. I grew up in Honolulu, Hawaii. I was born in London, England, and I started my career in studying dance in Honolulu, Hawaii. And I really have taken pretty much every type of dance you can imagine. I started off mostly ballet, jazz, went to hip hop, street dance. I've done African. I moved to Ashland because my mother and sister moved here, and I moved here to be closer to family. I worked at first out of somebody else's studio, and I started my own, just started building classes, different age groups, and then slowly, a couple years later, I opened my own studio here at Ashland Dance Works. That's where we are right here in this fabulous studio is Ashland Dance Works. And the rest is kind of history in this town. I've really developed this, I feel like, community of dance by doing things within the community. The green shows, the parades, the different just community works that I do, working with Science Works. Also started the year that Michael Jackson died, I started doing this thing with Thriller in downtown, and it just kind of took off and became a staple in the community. It has been quite a year for me, for sure. Last year, we are in the new year, but I did lose my home in the Alameda fires, and that was something I've never gone through before and experienced, and a great sense of loss, but also in it, it's just there's been again this experience, a great sense of understanding of community and what I have brought to the community and how it really came back, I feel like, to be a support system for me after everything that happened. And it was really just eye-opening how everyone in the community pulled together. I mean, grandparents of students that I've had from 10 years ago came out to like support, whether it was just bringing me things, whether it was financial support, whatever people could do to help. It seemed like I had this army of people there helping me. And so it was, I just never experienced in that sense of so many people banding together. You know, I grew up moving every year. I was always kind of on the move. My family was like that, sort of gypsies. And so to be here and invest the time that I've had and then have an experience like this and just watch the community really just come up and be there for me and my family was such a beautiful thing. It was amazing just to be a part of that and feel so loved and appreciated in the community. I feel like I learned a lot about what is more important than, you know, physical things, and no matter how devastating and shocking it was, I feel like I've sort of come out of it this stronger, different person because I feel that I know that I have love and support. As I said, this has been quite a year, and even throughout all the trauma and the kind of devastation of what I've endured, I found my father, and I have never known my father. This year I also turned 50, and for the first time I reunited with him. Actually, a friend found him back in February, and because of COVID and what's happened, situation, we were unable to actually connect. And as this situation just kept getting prolonged, after the fire, I just felt like this real sense of connection with family and, like I said, community. And I felt like it was so necessary just because he's now 75. I turned 50. I've lost so many years. I felt like I really just needed to go and tangibly meet this person. So I decided in December to actually fly to Rhode Island. He's on the exact opposite part of the United States than I live on, and to actually go and meet him in person. And it was just the most incredible experience. I mean, to meet someone that is so like me. We have very parallel lives. We both worked in the music business. We both are artists. We both have a huge part in the community works that we do. His work is just something that I feel really passionate about, and to find that side of my family, really growing up in an all-white family and never having that connection with my African-American family has just been like overwhelming burst of emotions. I mean, it's kind of emotional overload actually. But I got to go also, the house that I was staying in when I met him is the house that my great-great-great-grandfather built in 1886. And so beyond finding just this person, I found like my entire family lineage, and it's it's a lot to take in, but it is the most magical and silver lining of all the loss that I've had over this past year. It's just created this whole new, filled me up with all this love and newfound love and family and support. I have had a lot of struggles in my life, and I grew up with a single mom of 4 kids, and I've always kind of been that person who was very resilient and could bounce back. I think when you grow up in situations like that, it really just builds this inner strength that you have from childhood. This year has definitely been in a whole new realm of things that I've gone through. But like I said before, I think the community, the support, my family, my children have really just kept me going and feeling like the more I am, the stronger I can be, and the more I can hold up myself, the more my children will really be able to get through this whole process together as well. So I think that inner strength just shines through to others that you're around, and helps for you to really find, that inner strength that you have can be a reflection to so many others and help others. So I just keep on carrying on and try to see the most positive things that I can. And like I said, the silver lining is that I have a dad now, and I have the knowledge of this everlasting kind of community support, and that built strength within me.
In closing, I would like to thank my parents for helping me and supporting me every step of the way. Miss Tisdale and the school for giving me this amazing opportunity. Miss McKissick for helping me write my speech, and Kristen for all the tech help. I would like to thank Aisha for letting me make the film about her and donating her time. And lastly, I would like to thank Katie. Katie, you've been so kind and welcoming from the very start. You greeted me with a big smile and lots of wonderful ideas. I feel so lucky to have such a fantastic and kind mentor. Thank you, Katie. Will you please stand? Any questions?
Do you want to continue doing filmmaking in the future?
I'll pursue it as like a job, but I really do have fun just making films with my friends and just have knowledge of how to make films. I think I might just want to do in the future, make more short films like this.
What was like the most difficult part for you?
Definitely the editing takes quite a bit of time. I guess when I started this project, I didn't realize how much work it is, but it's definitely very fun and rewarding. So,
Has Aisha seen it, and what did she think?
This is the first time she's seen it, so I don't know if she's. Yeah, I'm pretty sure she's on Zoom, so
Maybe she'll say something.
yeah.
We can go to Zoom and see if there's questions.
There's a question from your 8th grade buds.
How long did it take you to make the documentary?
Well, I started editing editing probably in the beginning of February, and I finished it last week, so about a month.
That's it. Well, thank you so, and you, that was amazing. That was
Thank
such a beautiful film. Yeah. Really. So we will be back in just a bit.